Beautypies, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a makeup tutorial on this look right here. I was going for a spring glam look, but it turned into more of a summer glam look with a lot of the glow and highlight. I used a bronzer as a face powder, and I also used a new highlighter that I hadn't used before, and it turned out to be really good, which is why like the highlight is just shining today. I was talking to my friends recently, we're talking on the phone a lot, and we're looking forward to a lot of things in the future. Like, obviously there's not much to do now, but weddings, big events. I know a lot of us that have that. This is usually like spring wedding season is kind of around this time, so I'm sure a lot of these events have been postponed, but hopefully you'll still have events to go to later on this year, and after this craziness with the virus has died down, you can still wear a beautiful glowy look like this to an event that you may have to go to later. So hopefully it gives you something to look forward to. I really do hope my videos have provided some type of distraction for you in this time of crisis. In this video, I have used my Jaclyn Hill palette. I recently just posted in my Instagram stories that this palette is on sale for $20 at Morphe brushes. That is such a good value. I don't know if it will still be on sale by the time I post this video, but if you're following me on Instagram, I'll definitely keep you aware of sales like that I encounter. I don't really post a lot about sales, but this is really just a palette that I think is just a good one to have. You can do a neutral look with it, or you can do a look like this that I have on my eyes right now. I've talked a lot about this palette in the last few videos, and I realized I haven't done a lot with it in terms of making videos, so that's why I really wanted to use this palette in this video. I'm also using this palette, the Mercury Retrograde palette. I did do a video on this before. This palette has the best pressed glitter shadows. So I am wearing a gold glitter shadow on top of the eyeshadow look I created with the Jaclyn Hill palette, and it was just, I've used glitters before and they're messy. You have to use the glitter glue. This is just so convenient. I even use a brush. I use it with my finger because I find that I get a lot more color payoff with it. And there was no fallout. I was just amazed. I started my makeup today with my eye makeup. So when you see the tutorial, you'll see I usually do my face makeup, then I do my eye makeup, but I started with my eyes first because I knew I was going to do a colorful look, and I thought I would have a lot of fallout between the the greens and the golds that I was using. But for both palettes, I had virtually nothing. I mean, not virtually nothing, like I had no fallout. It was just so surprising. With the Jaclyn Hill palette, you do have to tap off the excess on the brush, but with the gold glitter, I used the color Gold Glitch in this palette. It's a pressed glitter, and so I picked it up with my finger, so you can't really tap off your finger, but it just went on so nicely. And when I was getting ready to do my face makeup, I didn't have not a single bit of glitter or any type of eyeshadow on my face. So that's again why I love these two palettes. This one is definitely more because of the glitter. So if you're into glitter and you want to use the glitters in here as like a topper for like an extravagant eye look, it's a really good palette for that purpose. The highlighter I used today was this one by Raine. This is a sample that I got in one of my beauty bags. I haven't really received a lot of highlighters in my beauty bags that I like. I've liked the colors, but I've always found them to be too glittery. But this was a really nice one. It's so suitable to my skin tone, and it did not come off very glittery, and a little bit went a long way. It's called Your Treat. It's a pressed highlighter by Raine. It's been a couple of months since I received this in my beauty bag, or was it this month? I don't know. But this is a really good highlight. I'm also using a new blush that I love. It's a new brand. I got this in a beauty bag as well. This is called Shaina B. That's the brand. Miami. It's a Shaina B Miami, and the color is Brickell, and it's a blush. It came across so nicely against my skin tone. Loved it. A little bit goes a long way. It's a very good quality blush, and it's just, I haven't really found a new blush recently or lately that I really loved. I mean, I use different kinds of blushes, but I feel like I don't really put on a lot of blush because I don't ever want it to take away from my eye or my lipstick look, but this was colorful, yet I didn't feel like it could really take away from the the green color on my eyes. So I used a lot of it and I just love how this came out. I also used all new lip colors on my lips, a new lip liner and 2 new lipsticks. I've had these lipsticks, but I haven't used them here on my channel. But I thought it created a really nice nude for my skin tone. So if you're dark skin, brown, you'll find that this is a nice nude to wear with a really bright eye color. I think I am done with this prelude to my tutorial. So if you would like to see how I got this look, please keep watching. So I'm going to be using this NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer in the color Chestnut. And I'm using this to color correct. So this is a concealer, obviously, but I had purchased it to use it as like a quick foundation to run out the door, like for everyday, you know, like a basic makeup routine when I'm not wearing a lot of makeup. And as you can see, it really does a great job of very quickly color correcting and just evening out your skin tone. However, the problem with this was that after an hour or so, once it settled into my skin, it was not the right match for my skin tone. So it has like a rosy undertone to it. So now I use this as a color corrector. It does a great job as a color corrector. It blends in well with my foundation and it just kind of brightens up my face overall. And as you can see, it does such a great job of evening out skin tone, covering up all your imperfections in like a really short amount of time. I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills concealer to prime my eyes. I'm doing a really bold look on my eyes, so I like to use a good primer. This or the MAC Paint Pot is really good as well. I'm using this one because this is what I usually use to carve out my eyebrows, so I just thought I would do both with this one concealer. So I'm just using a concealer brush by Sigma. I'm just kind of spreading that out over my eye. If you have dark skin and you want to do a bold eye look, it's just like a must having a good primer on your eye so that the color really stands out. Now I'm going in with the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette, and I'm going to be using the color MFEO, and it's like a very light tan color with a rosy undertone to it. I'm using this brush, this eyeshadow brush that I got in an Ipsy bag. I'll write the name of the brand below. It's kind of hard to read on the brush, but it's a pretty good brush, and I'm using this eyeshadow color simply to set the brow. I'm not really setting my eyelid because I find that if I set it, the colors don't pop as much. So just setting the brow. Next, I'm going in with Puder. Yes, I said that correctly. That's the color that I just pointed at. And I'm going to put this into the crease. Next, I am going in with the green, the star of the show. I'm using this dark green, and I'm just going to be putting it on my eyelid. So as you can see, it's coming out very patchy, and that is more because I didn't set the lid with powder. So I just had concealer and then I put this eyeshadow on right on top of it. However, it does come out much darker than if I did put powder on it. So for me, it's just worth the hassle of just having to work harder to blend it out. Now you can set with a powder and then put this on and you'll find that it's easier to blend out. It's really just up to you. So I am then going to pack on the same color right onto the lid, the lower lid right by the lashes, just to darken up that area. And then I'm just going to keep blending it out till I get as much of this green color I want on my eyelid. Then I'm going back in with Puder, the brown color, and I'm just going to softly blur out the edge of the green on my lid. Then I'm going to take a clean fluffy brush. This is the Morphe E27, and then I'm just going to blend out the area above my crease to just blend in any of the green shadow that may have fallen there. Hopefully you don't have much green shadow there, but the extra blend just kind of cleans everything up. And then I'm going to go back in with some more green shadow. You can skip this step if you don't feel like you need more shadow, but I wanted to just kind of fill in some of the gaps. And then I'm going to go in with the green shimmer color, and this color is called Diva. So I didn't go in with this color first because I knew that if I put that dark matte green color on my lid first, that this shimmer would pop out a lot more. Again, if you're darker skinned, this is always a good step to do. Like even if you're using a shimmer shadow, Let's say it's just any shimmer shadow, a single shimmer shadow. Like if you find like an eyeliner, a creamy eyeliner or something, or another shadow that's a matte version of the shimmer, and you put it on underneath the shimmer, the color will pop even more on your eyelid. Also, you could take the extra step of spraying your brush with some MAC Fix Plus or just some water when you're putting on the shimmer so that the shimmer pops more as well. Then I'm going to use a blending brush to blend out the edges of my lid, of the shimmer on my lid, and I'm using the Sigma blending brush. This is the E25. And with this color Soda Pop from the palette, it's a very dark, deep brown, and I'm going to use this blending brush. It's got a pointed edge, so it's perfect for darkening the outer crease of your eye for a smoky look. And I always smoke out my eye looks. I just feel like it makes my eyes appear bigger, and this is a really great brush for it because it picks up the color, it deposits it, in a very precise area because of the pointed tip. And then you can just kind of tilt it to the side and use the rest of the brush, the side of the brush, to blend it out. Then I'm going to go back in with that blending brush and just blend out the crease again, and do this very lightly because I don't want the whole crease to get dark with that color that I just put in. So I'm just barely touching the brush onto my crease and blending it out little by little so that it just becomes a soft blur. Next, I'm using my Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette, and I'm going to take the color Gold Glitch, and this is a pressed powder, or pressed glitter powder. Yeah, I think that's what this is. So there's different formulas for the glitters, and I'm not exactly sure which one that is, but it's a really shimmery gold color, and it's not just like shimmer, it's like glitter more than it is shimmer, and it's just a really great formula because it applies a lot like glitter, and yet you don't need glitter glue or anything else other than a brush or just even your finger. I did both. I first put it on with my finger just to get a lot of the color on quickly, and then I used a brush to just kind of smooth it out over my lid into the areas that I wanted the gold glitter. And I just really wanted it from my inner corner and then about halfway down into my lid. So I'm going to do some winged eyeliner. So to draw out the wing, I'm going to use this eyeliner, this felt tip eyeliner from Tarte. It's called the Sex Kitten eyeliner. I got this first in a beauty bag, love it. Next, I'm going to use my NYC liquid liner. This is my old tried and true liquid liner. It just really makes your eyeliner look like gel liner. I have a hard time finding this now. I used to buy this from Walmart, and I don't know, I just looked online too. I don't seem to see it anywhere, so I'm probably gonna have to switch to gel eyeliner soon because no other liquid liner tends to give me that really dark line as this particular liquid liner does. Then I'm putting some mascara on my lashes before I apply my false lashes, and this is the mascara by Benefit, and it's called They're Real. Just putting a light coat. For lashes, I'm using these lashes by the brand Nubounsom, and it is in the style Exotic. Perfect for a look like this where you still want to see the eyeshadow that you have on, but it's still long and wispy. So for my face, I am starting with concealer. This is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I am just doing a new technique. It's not really new, it's just different for me. I used to use this technique when I first started doing makeup, and I would do it for friends for like special events, and I just found that it was just a lot more of that really bronzy contour look when you apply foundation first and then you put on contour and highlight and then you blend it all out together. So this, I just decided to try it a little bit differently and skip the foundation and do the concealer and contour first and put the foundation after. So that's the technique I'm using. So I'm starting with the concealer. For the contour, I'm using this NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop contour. So I bought this during my haul. I did a haul video several weeks ago, last month. So, yeah, it was last month, and after I bought it and I was going to start using it, I thought, you know what, this looks like it's going to be hard to blend out, so I wasn't going to use it. But then once the virus outbreak happened and I didn't go to the store to return it, and I just thought, you know what, let me give it a shot. So that's why I thought I would try it out in this video. And as you'll see, it's going to be quite hard to blend. I did use my foundation on my NARS Sheer Glow foundation. I have that on this brush and I'm starting to blend everything out. The good news is everything blends out perfectly, but it's not as neat as like a foundation stick. Like I really am on the hunt for a foundation stick. I don't think I'm going to use this type of contour product anymore because unless they make a formula that blends out much easier, I don't see a contour coming in this type of format. Like a wand is going to be easy to blend out. So anyway, when I noticed that my contour was going to be difficult to blend out, I just decided to start with the foundation and concealer section and blend all of that out first. And I will say in hindsight that I would put on a light layer of foundation. My goal with this was to use less foundation because if you think about it, when we do this full face of makeup, you know, the foundation is usually just buried under the concealer and contour anyway. But one thing I learned from this process is that foundation really does provide a really good base for that contour and concealer, and putting it on first I think makes it a significant enough difference for me that I don't think I would skip it. I would put less though. Like I don't think I would put that foundation all over my face. I think I will at least start within the center of my face and then apply contour and concealer and blend it all out together. There is a difference when you blend it all out together. Like it's just a smoother blend. You don't see any of the fine the lines. And I really like that look, but I do think you need like the best products for it. And I'm not really using, although the concealer is good, I don't know if the concealer is ideal for this type of technique because this particular concealer, once you put it on your skin, if you don't blend it out right away, it tends to like really like stick onto your skin and become hard to blend out. So definitely gonna try this technique again with different products. But as you'll see, it does blend out. Like I am showing you real time. Like I didn't use anything extra. I didn't leave and use a different product to try to fix this. Like it looks like a big mess, but when I use this damp beauty blender, I just kept going over it over and over again. It did blend out. So it is a product that's made for this type of use, like for contour. But a better product would take far less time to blend out. Now I want to match my neck with my face, so I'm going to use this contour stick by Wet n Wild. I use this often for my contour. I love this product. It's not as dark as the one I just used. That's really the only drawback, but it's just such a great color for my skin tone and it blends out really easy. For face powder, I'm going to use this powder by MAC and it is in the color Give Me Sun. This powder is typically used as a bronzer by lighter skinned women. I have also used it as a bronzer, but every time I use it as a bronzer, I don't really see it much. It always adds a little something to it, so I do like it. But I thought that since I wanted a little bit more of a glowy look today, I would use it as a face powder because I knew that it's not too dark. And it does have a slight sheen. This is part of the MAC Mineralize Skin Finish line, and so all of those skin finish products have like this really nice soft sheen to make it look like you have a glow from within. So I'm really happy with the way it came out. It did darken up my skin, so it's a very good, it is a bronzer and it's going to darken up your whole look. But because my contour was, or my highlight under my eye was pretty light anyway, it didn't darken up my skin too much, and I just think the overall effect, it just blended everything in really nicely. Short shader brush by Sigma, and I'm starting with that color I had put into my crease, Pooter, and I'm just lightly lining my lower lash line. Next I'm going to pack on some of the Diva, or wait, it's Jada? The matte green, which is neither one of those, it's called Enchanted, that is the color. I'm going to put that onto my lower lash line, and it's really up to you how dark you want it to be in your lower lash line. I wanted it to be pretty dark to match my upper crease, so I'm just picking up more color and adding it onto my lower lash line. This is a great brush for the lower lash line as well because it's just the point and the rest of the brush is just enough area to make that lower lash line thick enough for the space of my eye. I think what you'll find is when you try this technique, when you start lowering, lining under your lower lash line, like you have to find the brush that works for you. And this particular brush is perfect for my lower lash line. This, as well as that blending brush, it's just the E25 by Sigma. Also Morphe has the M411. Both those brushes are really great for the lower lash line. Next, I'm going to pack on the color Abyss, which is the black color in the palette, and I'm going to just use the E65 brush from Morphe, and I'm going to pack the lower lash line. Next, I'm using the Urban Decay pencil liner in the color Perversion. This is my favorite black pencil liner, and I'm using in the lower waterline. I'm using the MAC Giga Black Lash Mascara for my lower lash line. Now you may have noticed that my brows look a little bit different, and that is because I am doing a new technique on them. I still haven't worked out all the kinks, but it's the soap brow technique. If you've seen it on Instagram or YouTube, I love it. It just gives you a really natural look for the lashes, but I kind of want something in between natural and not so natural, so I'm filling in the brows with this black eyeshadow. It's the same black color from the Jaclyn Hill palette. And then I'm taking a more precise brush, and this is the E65, the angle brush, and I'm just drawing in short strokes with that black shadow so that it mimics actual brow hairs. For blush, I'm going in with this blush by Shaina B Miami in the color Brickell. As I mentioned in the intro to my video, this is a really nice blush for my skin tone. It's just like the perfect balance between red and pink. I love the blush from NARS called Diva. It's like my favorite blush, and this kind of is like reminds me of that blush because I can build it up and get a really nice color, or I can wear a light layer of it and still actually have color that is visible on my cheeks. So great blush, very blendable, and a beautiful color. For highlight, I'm using this one by Colored Raine, and it's called Your Treat. It's a really nice dark bronzy, like coppery color, and I wasn't sure what to expect, so I just started with like small amounts on my cheek, and it is a really beautiful color and doesn't have too much glitter, so you can kind of build up and not worry about it looking like overly glittery. So it's a really pretty highlight. I'm also going to put some of this on my brow bone area as well as my inner corner of my eye. Next, I'm using this lip liner by Sephora. I got this as a sample a while ago, a very long time, probably over a year ago, and I never used it, and oh my god, it is probably going to be one of my new favorite lip liners, at least low cost ones. Honestly, I don't really know how much this is. I haven't looked at it, but I'm guessing if it's Sephora, it's going to be less than about $20 at least, maybe $15, but it's such a great formula. It glides on so nicely and it packs a punch. You get plenty of color when you're aligning your lips. I didn't have to keep going over it. Honestly, it reminded me a lot of the Urban Decay formula, which I think is even better than the MAC formula, even though MAC probably has more colors that I like. But this is a great formula. I'm definitely going to be looking more into the Sephora lip liners because this was a really nice lip liner. And this is in the color in the nude. Next, I'm using this color by Bite Beauty. And this is in the color Glacé. Glacé, I think that's how you pronounce it. And I'm just gonna kind of put this all over my lips and blend it in with the lip liner. So this gives it more of a pinky, rosy tone. Then I'm going in with this color from MAC. This is in the color Pure Zen, and this is gonna bring back more of that nude effect to my lips. And for me, that's kind of how I have to do it. I can't just go in with a nude color. I kind of have to start with like a pink and then make it nude. So that is the final look. Thank you so much for watching. I know this was a very long video, but I'm glad you stuck through, and let me know if you have any questions or comments. Please comment down below. Make sure you like the video if you enjoyed watching it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It really helps me out, and I'll see you in my next video.